A doorbell camera watches over a quiet, peaceful street in broad daylight. A woman stands near the front steps, unaware of the danger approaching. Suddenly, a car races up to the curb and stops abruptly. A man jumps out, runs straight toward the porch, and confronts the woman. He grabs at her bag and phone, shoving her backward as she tries to hold on. You can hear shouting, but the words are hard to make out. The struggle lasts only moments. The thief yanks the item free and retreats. Two passing cars slow down, watching the scene unfold, but no one steps out to intervene. The suspect sprints back to the waiting vehicle, jumps inside, and the car speeds away. The victim is left shaken on the porch and in the driveway, trying to process what just happened. The clip ends shortly after, a bold, fast daytime theft over in seconds. The doorbell footage provides clear evidence for investigators, but it also serves as a powerful reminder. Staying alert is important, even in broad daylight. Unfortunately, there is no confirmed information on whether the thieves were ever identified or arrested. All we can hope is that the woman is doing well today, and that justice eventually found its way to this case. But as unsettling as that encounter was, the next clip takes things even further. A moment where a stranger didn't just strike and flee. He lingered. On June 4th, 2024, a family received a notification from their doorbell camera. Someone was standing outside their apartment door. At first, they didn't think much of it. In a shared building, motion alerts are common, often triggered by neighbors coming and going. But this time, it wasn't a neighbor. Standing directly in front of their door was a man they had never seen before, and the look in his eyes suggested he wasn't there for anything innocent. As the footage shows, he tried each of the 3 door handles one by one, testing them quietly but deliberately, as if searching for a way inside. Inside the apartment, the family watched in real time through the camera feed. They stayed silent, hoping he would lose interest, hoping he wouldn't manage to get through the door, hoping they wouldn't have to find out what his intentions actually were. Minutes passed. The man didn't move on. Eventually, he stepped back from the door, but he didn't leave. Instead, he stood at the end of the hallway, lingering there, as if deciding what to do next. That's when the homeowner made the decision to speak through the camera, breaking the silence and confronting him.
What's going on, man? Do you have business in the building? You need to get out.
Thankfully, that was enough. The man turned and walked away, leaving the building without causing damage or attempting anything further. But the encounter left the homeowner, and anyone who watched the footage, with an uncomfortable question. What was he planning? And what would have happened if the door hadn't been locked? Luckily, those questions will never need answers. The family stayed safe. The man eventually left, and the footage serves as a reminder of how quickly a normal night can take a frightening turn. Now, this next one wasn't captured by a doorbell camera, but it absolutely belongs in this compilation because the footage is genuinely unsettling. Jenny, who lives alone with her beloved dog Pim, was at home one night when something truly terrifying happened in the middle of the night. Someone was at her front door, desperately trying to get her to open it. At that hour, with no one expected and no reason for anyone to be there, Jenny immediately knew something wasn't right. Understandably, she chose not to respond, hoping whoever was outside would give up and walk away. But they didn't. The knocking grew louder. The ringing became more aggressive. Minute by minute, the situation escalated, as if the stranger outside was getting frustrated that Jenny wasn't answering. Inside, Jenny was trembling with fear, and if you listen closely, you can hear her dog Pim whining in distress as well, clearly sensing the danger. But finally, after several tense minutes, everything stopped. No more knocking, no more ringing. Just silence, and the lingering fear of what could have happened. Jenny didn't share many details afterward, but all we can hope is that she contacted the police and that nothing like this ever happened to her again. And after an experience like that, it's safe to assume that installing a doorbell camera probably became a top priority, because situations like this remind us how terrifying it can be when danger comes right to your doorstep. Next, I have 2 clips for you. And these come with a bit of background information that makes the footage even more unsettling than it already was. On November 22, 2019, just after 8 p.m., a doorbell camera in Harriet Creek Ranch, Texas, recorded something that has haunted viewers ever since. A young girl, holding a flashlight and visibly terrified, approached the front door of a house. She kept glancing over her shoulder, as if someone, or something, might be following her.
Help, please!
But the house she turned to for help was empty. The family who lived there was away on vacation, leaving no one to answer her desperate knocks. Her panic grew as she continued pleading for help, unaware that no one was inside.
Please help!
By the time the homeowners later checked their security footage, the girl was already gone. No one in the neighborhood had seen her, and no one recognized her. She didn't match the appearance of any local children, and she never returned to that door again. Confused and deeply concerned, the homeowners contacted police and posted the footage online in hopes someone might identify her. 6 years have passed, yet the girl remains unidentified. Online theories spread quickly, and while many were far-fetched, 2 possibilities gained traction. One theory, the darker one, suggests she may have been used as bait by criminals hiding off camera. It's a tactic seen in some home invasion attempts. A frightened child or woman knocks to lure a kind-hearted homeowner into opening the door. But in this case, the girl's genuine panic, voice trembling, and frantic mannerisms don't seem staged. The more widely discussed theory is also the most heartbreaking. Some believe the girl could have been 9-year-old Serenity Dennard, a missing child from South Dakota. Serenity had a history of running away due to emotional and behavioral challenges, and she disappeared from a youth treatment facility in February 2019, 9 months before the doorbell footage. Despite extensive search efforts involving hundreds of volunteers, Serenity was never found. The theory speculates she could have been taken across state lines and might have escaped, desperately seeking help. But Serenity's family reviewed the video and confirmed the girl wasn't her. With no solid leads, the case gradually went cold. Police officially suspended Serenity's search in 2021. And the unknown girl at the door, her identity, her story, and what she was running from, remains an unsolved mystery. And with that, we head straight into the next clip. On the morning of July 31st, 2022, just before 11 a.m., 22-year-old Allison Duckrow and her mother returned to their home in Sydney, Ohio, after having breakfast together. Moments after stepping inside, an unfamiliar car pulled into their driveway. A man stepped out and headed toward the front door. It was 22-year-old James Rail, Allison's ex-boyfriend. They had broken up a year and a half earlier and had not spoken since. The night before, he sent her an unsettling voice message saying he would come to see her the next day. Allison never replied, never agreed to meet, and wanted no contact with him. Through the home's live camera feed, she watched him approach the door and chose to ignore him.
Hi, Allie. It's James. I just wanted to reach out to you because I just wanted to see how you're doing and maybe hear from you if that would be alright, I guess. It's been a while since I've talked to you, and I don't know. I feel like it, I don't know what I feel. I do know that I do want to talk to you, though. I do. It'd be nice. Be sweet. It's probably late right now, but if you want tomorrow, you could probably give me a call. And yeah, it's about it. Please give me a call back. Thank you.
After waiting several minutes with no response, James walked off the porch, but instead of leaving, he began circling the house, trying to find another way inside. When that failed, he returned to the front door and started forcing it, pushing harder and harder each time. As he continued escalating, refusing to leave and attempting to break in, Allison's father was left with no choice but to defend his family. The confrontation ended moments later. Police arrived soon after and began their investigation. Allison and her father both cooperated fully with officers on scene. A few days later, on August 4th, 2022, Allison's father stood trial.
So if you would, I understand, were you aware of the text messages that James had sent your daughter last night?
Was not.
Okay, so your daughter did not share those with you?
No.
The doorbell footage, which clearly showed James trying to force entry into the home, proved crucial. Based on the evidence, he was acquitted of all charges under Ohio's self-defense laws. Now, I'm not trying to sound judgmental, but it's true that many of the unsettling doorbell clips we see online tend to involve men. However, that doesn't mean women can't be threatening too. In fact, the next few clips prove exactly that. And to be honest, some of them are even more disturbing than anything I've seen so far. This next clip, shared by TikTok user Mackenzie, starts off a little strange, you could say. But the longer the footage plays, the more unsettling it becomes. Take a look. Right away, the woman's appearance raises questions. She's wearing a skeleton prop draped over her shoulders, and the way she knocks on the door is frantic, uneven, almost rehearsed. Combined with the fact that this happened in the middle of the night, the whole situation immediately feels wrong. But it was only about to get worse.
Happy and know it, answer the door.
If you're warm-hearted, good-spirited, open the door.
She lingers at the doorstep, standing there with an eerie sense of purpose, as if she's waiting for something or someone. Inside, the homeowner was fast asleep and didn't hear the knocking until the woman suddenly switched to ringing the doorbell.
Real estate agent is what and who? You must answer back. Compute. Maybe they're shot inside, maybe they're down.
Can I help you?
Are you alright?
Are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just wondering, because I've knocked on the door a couple times.
Because I'm asleep. It's 1 a.m. Please leave.
We're just making sure we'll comply. I was just making sure that you
Leave
were
now.
Eventually, the woman walked away and never returned. And to this day, no one really knows what her intentions were. Many viewers pointed out her rapid, unfocused eye movements, suggesting she may not have been in a stable state of mind. Thankfully, she didn't cause any harm, but it's hard not to wonder what she was hoping to accomplish by disturbing strangers in the dead of night. It's one of those cases where the mystery is almost as unsettling as the footage itself, and we'll probably never know the real answer. And with that, we head straight into this next clip shared by TikTok user Anastasia. It's one of those moments that immediately feels off, the kind of footage you watch once, then replay just to make sure you saw it correctly. It's bizarre, confusing, and more than a little unsettling. Take a look.
Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Call Erica. Let me in.
From the very first frame, something doesn't feel right. Two girls approach the door in a strange, erratic manner, their movements abrupt, their expressions unfocused, as if they can't decide whether they need help or are there for something else entirely. Watching this footage, several possibilities come to mind. Maybe they were under the influence of something and weren't fully aware of where they were or what they were doing. Maybe it was an attempt to look like they needed help, a tactic sometimes used to lure a homeowner into opening the door. Or perhaps it was nothing more than a misguided prank, done for attention or a reaction, without realizing how threatening it appeared. But what makes this encounter particularly chilling is the fact that the homeowner didn't recognize either of them. They weren't neighbors, friends, or anyone from the area, which raises an even bigger question. Why were they there? The girls never rang again. They never came back. And no one ever stepped forward claiming to know them or explain what was going on. With no follow-up information, the entire incident remains suspended in mystery. In the end, we're left with nothing but the footage. Two strangers standing at a door they had no reason to be at, acting in a way that no one has been able to fully explain. And sometimes, that uncertainty is the most unsettling part of all. And this next clip you're about to see is just as unexplainable. The clip was shared by TikTok user Della Dawson, and it captures something that no one would ever want to see on their doorstep, especially in the middle of the night. A woman Della had never seen before appears out of the darkness and slowly walks up to her front door, moving with an uneasy, almost disoriented energy.
At 4:16 a.m. a random woman walks up to my doorway acting strangely. She starts looking inside my glass door, then does this.
As Della later explained, she slept through the entire incident. She had no idea anyone had approached her home until the following morning, when she woke up, checked her phone, and found the notification waiting for her, along with the footage. That moment of discovery brought a wave of fear. She watched the clip over and over, trying to make sense of what she was seeing. Who was this woman? Why was she wandering up to a stranger's home in the dead of night? And what exactly was she planning to do? The woman doesn't knock, doesn't speak, and doesn't seem to look for help. Instead, she lingers at the door with an unsettling stillness, as if she's debating her next move. Then, just as silently as she arrived, she turns and walks away, disappearing back into the dark street. Della never received any explanation. As far as we know, the woman never came back, and no neighbor recognized her. No police report surfaced. No update was ever given. Every question, the who, the why, the what if, remains unanswered. And for Della, the fear didn't end with the video. She admitted she spent the next few nights struggling to sleep, replaying the footage in her mind, and wondering what might have happened if she had woken up, or if the woman had tried something more. All we can hope is that Della eventually found peace again, and that nothing like this ever happens at her doorstep again. And with that, we head into the last clip of this series, featuring the women in tonight's compilation. Now, this next footage, shared by TikTok user Devin Kurtz, is another clip that leaves viewers with far more questions than answers.
Hi, Dad.
Hello? It's 1:15 in the morning.
As mentioned in the video, the same woman came to the house twice in a single night, each time acting as if she genuinely believed she was ringing the doorbell of her father's home. She even called out for him. But instead of a familiar face, she was met with the startled voice of the actual homeowner speaking through the doorbell camera. And the strangest part? As soon as the homeowner responded, she immediately turned and walked away, as if realizing in that instant she had made a mistake. Approaching the wrong house during the day is understandable, but doing it in the middle of the night, confused and persistent enough to return a second time, is something much more unsettling. People in the comments pointed out that the woman may have been dealing with a mental health crisis, confused, distressed, or disoriented, and didn't necessarily have any harmful intentions. But even so, it's never worth the risk to open the door to a stranger at that hour, and the homeowner was right to stay cautious. After her second visit, he decided to call the police, just to be safe, and the officer's reaction when he arrived is definitely worth watching.
That's terrifying.
In the end, the woman never returned. No identity, no explanation, no follow-up. Like so many of these eerie late-night encounters caught on doorbell cameras, what was going on in her mind, or what she was truly looking for, remains a complete mystery. Next, we're about to look at footage that isn't really a mystery at all, but it's certainly a situation that could have been approached very differently. A family was enjoying a quiet night at home when their phone suddenly buzzed with a motion alert. Someone is at your door. Curious and concerned, one of the homeowners checked the live feed. There, on the front porch, was a man they didn't recognize, moving strangely and appearing highly disoriented.
Drop the gun. You want to square up, bro?
You want to square up?
Then let's drop the gun.
Who is you? What?
I don't know who am I, bro?
Who is you?
I don't know.
Huh? Oh my god, oh my god!
Oh my god. Oh my god. Please stop.
Get my brother. So we about to fuck him up.
Drop the gun.
I am. I'm about to. 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 What's going on? I'm about to. I got him. Go!
It's just me.
Go!
One of the residents stepped outside with a firearm for protection, only to realize the man at the door was heavily intoxicated. When confronted and asked who he was, the drunk stranger ignored the question and instead demanded that the homeowner put his gun down. Tensions rose quickly. The homeowner became frustrated, and the situation escalated into a physical struggle between the two men. Moments later, a woman came outside to help, calling for another person inside the home. As soon as that second individual appeared, the confrontation intensified, and together they managed to push the intoxicated man off the property. The footage is a clear reminder of how unpredictable and potentially dangerous it can be to open your door to a stranger at night. In situations like this, contacting emergency services is always the safest choice. Now, in a collection filled with danger, fear, and unsettling encounters, this next clip stands out for a completely different reason, and it comes from TikTok user Ashley Cheney. Ashley had been under a lot of stress, the kind that makes even simple routines slip through the cracks. And that night, exhausted and overwhelmed, she accidentally left her front door wide open, a mistake that, in the wrong circumstances, could have ended in a terrifying situation. But instead, something unexpected happened. Hours later, in the middle of the night, an unknown man walked up to her doorstep. At first glance, it's the kind of scene that makes you tense, the kind where your mind jumps to the worst possibilities. But as the footage plays, everything shifts. The man doesn't try to enter. He doesn't snoop around. He doesn't take anything. Instead, he gently calls out to announce himself, letting the homeowner know he means no harm. Then, with a quiet, considerate gesture, he pulls the door closed, protecting someone he doesn't even know from potential danger. No confrontation, no fear, just simple human kindness. In a video filled with unsettling and alarming moments, this clip is a powerful reminder that compassion still exists. That even in the middle of the night, when things could go very wrong, there are people who choose to do the right thing simply because it's who they are. A small gesture for him, but an unforgettable reassurance for her, and for anyone who watches this clip. Now, this next footage shared by TikTok user Colton Darley may not be the most terrifying clip in this compilation, but it is definitely one of the most unique, and honestly, one of the strangest. The video shows a man repeatedly trying to enter a house, appearing genuinely desperate to get inside. At first glance, it actually looks like he lives there. The way he tests the door, the way he steps forward with confidence, as if he simply locked himself out. But as the footage continues, it becomes obvious that nothing could be further from the truth.
What are you doing?
Let me in. I've literally been standing here for a long time. Just let me in.
I'm not letting you in. What?
I'm tired. Just let me come in the house.
Okay, then go home if you're tired.
What are you talking about?
If you're tired, go to your own home and sleep in your bed.
This is my house.
No, this is not your house.
This is a blue house.
No, look again.
This is a blue house.
This is a gray house. Gray and blue are not the same.
Then where's my house?
2 doors down. Left side.
Despite his determination to open the door, the man never shows aggression or attempts to force his way in. He seems confused, disoriented, and completely convinced that this was his home. And at the very end of the clip, it's revealed that the homeowner actually knows him and immediately realizes what's going on. The man was simply at the wrong house. At first, I assumed he had just had one too many drinks, but after scanning the comments, another theory became far more likely. Several people pointed out the sleep right breathing strip on his nose, not something people typically wear on a night out, and the completely random bottle of BBQ sauce he was holding. All of that suggests something else. He may have been sleepwalking. Whether he was intoxicated, sleepwalking, or simply exhausted and confused, the important thing is that he never acted aggressive and never tried to harm anyone. And if he truly was just a lost neighbor in the middle of a confused moment, hopefully both he and the homeowner were able to laugh about this absurd, one-of-a-kind confrontation afterward. Now, this last footage was captured by a doorbell camera in Akron, Ohio, and unfortunately, no additional details were ever released about the incident. But honestly, the clip speaks for itself, because this is the kind of situation that turns your stomach the moment you see it. Imagine being jolted awake in the middle of the night only to see a masked man standing at your front door, holding a hammer, and clearly trying to get inside. There's no mistaking his intentions, and there's nothing comforting about the way he moves or the way he lingers at the door. As I said, no official information was made public, so all we can do is hope that this man never managed to break in, and that whatever he was planning was stopped before it could happen. Let this serve as a chilling reminder to always stay aware of your surroundings, to secure your home, and to have a plan for emergencies like this. Hopefully, you'll never need that plan. But clips like these prove that being prepared is far better than being caught off guard. Now that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed these horrifying clips, click to see more on the video on screen.